let's go have a little red. All right, so now I've got x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. Right, and I want to know what my discriminant is. So first, I want to list out my a, my b, and my c. And I'm going to use those to create my discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. Right, b squared is going to be 4 squared, which is 16 minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. That's going to give me 16 plus 12. And that is 28. So my discriminant is 28. That is positive, so I have real solutions. However, it is not a perfect square. So I'm going to expect 2 real irrational roots. Right? And then if we remember from before, the best way to solve is to either complete the square or quadratic formula. All right? So over here, we've already done half the quadratic formula, so let's keep rolling with it. All right? We've got x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. Negative b is going to be negative 4. We already calculated our discriminant, so it'll be plus or minus square root of 28. A is 1, so 2 times a is going to be 2. All right. Now, we remember 28 is 4 times 7. 4 is a perfect square, so we can take that out of the radical and take its square root. So that's going to give us negative 4 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 7 over 2. All of these are divisible by 2, so we can simplify. This is going to give me negative 2 plus or minus 1 times the square root of 7. And this is all of the simplification that I can do in this problem here. All right, so our solutions are going to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 7. All right, now let's say we decided to solve that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't solve this by factoring. This is not going to factor because our factors would look super ugly, right, if we're getting irrational roots. So don't even try to factor something if you find that you've got a discriminant that gives you irrational roots. You're wasting your time, right? So, but if I wanted to complete the square, let's say I wanted to do that, then I would have x squared plus 4x, we're isolating that. And we still have our minus 3, and we've got some space on both sides of that. All right, so my b over 2, here I'm going to be using this. So 4 over 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So we are going to be adding 4 in here, and we're going to be subtracting 4 out here. This is going to factor to x plus 2 squared minus 7 equals 0. This is going to give me x plus 2 squared is equal to 7. I take the square root of both sides, and I get x plus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 7. Then I bring my 2 over here by subtracting it. This is going to give me negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 7. Would you look at that? It is the same solution. All right. I don't know about you guys. I personally find completing the square to be a little bit easier in this case, so that's probably where I go. But either way you choose, you should get to the same answer. If you are feeling uncertain about yourself and want to use a secondary method to double check, excellent idea. Unless I tell you specifically, solve by completing the square, solve by factoring, or solve by quadratic formula, you are free to choose whatever method you want. Continuing our examples, we are looking at solving quadratic equations, and here I am not necessarily telling you which way you have to do something, but we want to first calculate our discriminant, use that to find what types of solutions we are going to get. Then we'll use that information to decide what approach we want to take in creating or in finding those solutions, and then make sure that we document what those solutions are. All right, so our example here is not in standard form. So I need to pull this over here. So that is going to give me 8x squared plus 16x plus 8 equals 0. All right, first thing I'm noticing here is that everything is divisible by 8. So I'm going to factor that out. So it's going to be 8 times x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. All right, and now what I can do to make my life a whole lot easier is divide both of these by 8. All right, this is going to give me a 1. 0 divided by 8 is 0. So now I have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. That's a whole lot nicer to work with, isn't it? All right, so my discriminant is going to be b squared minus 4ac. Goodness gracious. Let's make that a little bit nicer, huh? All right, that's still not very nice. There we go. All right, b squared. So here my b is going to be 2. So that's 4 minus 4 times 1 times 1. That is 0. All right, so I'm going to have one real rational root or solution. All right, and we can use any method to solve that. Okay, so I'm looking here, I think I'm going to factor. All right, so this is going to factor pretty easily, right? We've got a positive here, so we have the same sign. Got a positive here, so they're almost certainly going to be positive, but let's just go ahead and double check. All right, I have no leading coefficient, so I'm definitely going to have x's here. All right, I need two things that multiply together to give me 1, add together to give me 2. There is only one option. So that is x plus 1 is equal to 0. All right, so again, this, I've got two things multiplied here, but they are the same, so I'm only going to set one of them equal to 0 because I'm not doing double work. So that's going to give me x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x is equal to negative 1. And that is my solution, and this is a double root. Nice and sweet. All right, now what if I decided to do this with quadratic formula? Or by, yeah, I could complete the square pretty easy because that's already equal to x plus 1 times x plus 1. All right, so I'm going to factor. All right, so I've got, oh, and I already factored. I'm going to do quadratic formula. All right, so here we said our b was going to be 2. All right, so b squared, let's actually get this right, huh? So x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, negative b. And, you know, the other thing is it doesn't matter whether we go back to the original equation or if we use the simplified equation, we will get the same answer. All right, and that's the nice thing here is if you decide to factor, you make your life easier. If you don't decide to factor out this 8, hey, you're going to do a little more math, but you're going to still get the same answer. All right, so we are using this simplified equation. Let me write it up here. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. So our b is going to be 2, so negative 2 plus or minus. We already figured out that b squared minus 4ac was 0. Right, so square root of 0 all over 2 times a, which is 1. This is going to give me, forgot my negative over there, negative 2 plus or minus 0, it's the same number, So negative 2 over 2 is negative 1, right? So again, different methods, same solution, right? And when you have a quadratic that has only one solution, that means you've got a double root.